I bought Bear House and Deer Hoof from a bounce house by Sears Pool. Got an earful from my
Word. Welcome to Beats and B-Sides, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I have an illustrious guest in the house today, Mr. Rob Sonic. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, Elijah, man. Thank you for having me, man. I'm just, maintaining.
Yeah, I feel you. Congratulations on the new album. It's super dope, man. Super dope.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, it was a weird, long, strange process, as everything else is right now.
I'm sure. I think my favorite song probably, because on first listen, Hammer of Chaos was my favorite. And now after multiple listens, I think I'm torn between Mink and Super Jock.
Okay. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean, Hammer of Chaos is that immediately caught me when I made it.
Yeah.
So that's why I dropped it as a single. It actually came out almost 6 or 7 months ago.
Okay.
And then yeah, the other ones were sort of like, I guess well, Mink is such a fun track.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
Yeah, it's such a fun track. That's the thing. Like, I've talked to a couple of people and they're always like, what are you talking about on there? Like, you really want to hang out with a Mink? And I'm like, no, man, it's just, it's a fun way to put a twist on that culture of just trying to ball so hard,
Yeah.
Not really a critique on it, but just like, yeah, what if I was balling so hard I actually had the Mink?
Yeah.
Instead of the coat,
Right.
So that was fun. And what was the other one you said? Oh, Super Jock. Super Jock is crazy. Super Jock's actually that's like the most personal song I probably ever released.
Okay.
It's like all, it's definitely all, I don't know if it's exactly a linear thing about my childhood, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there about how I grew up. So it was definitely the Super Jock was it's fun. It's fun to me to be able to release that, but that was as much a cathartic experience for me as probably I've ever experienced in anything I've written.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about the type of writers that we are, the type of writers that Aesop is. Like, we have these moments. That's why I wanted to talk to you about writing process and style.
For
today,
sure.
Because artists like us, the way that we get to the point, is very different from everyone else. How the language we use, the just everything that we do, the visuals, all of the stuff that we kind of put into our art is very different from everyone else. You know what I'm saying? So I can imagine, I know how I feel when I write personal things. And the thing is, a lot of people that are just casual listeners may not necessarily know exactly how personal it is because of how we write.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's I mean, I guess, I always feel like the listener is sort of, I wouldn't say in control. I mean, I'm sure there's, but like, I connected to probably like people like Rakim and Daddy Kane and G-Rap the most, just in terms of how I felt in terms of what they were saying, and I think that we are coming from sort of a different, I don't want to say it's all abstract, because that's sort of like that's sort of a blanket statement, but I feel like it's if you can convey a certain emotion, I feel like people can sort of pick up where it's going and what it is, and that's where I feel like it's I don't know if it's a different time for listeners, but I feel like we sort of do. I don't want to say exactly what we're supposed to do,
right?
The way we do it, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like we're sort of staying a little more true to maybe stuff we grew up on.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. Yeah, because I think as the listeners dive more in, because in the world that we live in now, music is a la carte. So you listen to what you want to listen to, so the fact that, when we put out a record and it does well, it shows that people are ready to be challenged. You know what I'm saying? Right. People want to listen to music that not only feels good and sounds good, but also makes them think about some things and makes them, kind of,
no, I agree with that.
Yeah, want to break some things down, because it's not like you can listen to a Rob Sonic album or an ASAP album or an Logic album and get everything.
I was gonna say.
Or the first try, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you're not gonna.
Is it like that? See, because I feel like there was definitely points in my career where I was trying to distance myself from certain vibes of music, like on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't, because New York was such like a heavy thing when I started releasing music, that there was so many rappers,
right,
that it was kind of hard to like stand out on your own at that time. So I think that was, and I don't know if that's like some sort of thing. I don't want to say that we created that. Like when people are like, "Yo, where are you from? What is this thing that you guys are doing?" You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's just it seems naturally progressive to me. You know what I'm saying? But I think that I didn't really do that on this record. Like I guess it's just that you become so used to writing a certain way that you don't necessarily are even aware you're doing it at this point.
Yeah,
for me,
I feel you. Yeah, I get that. I mean, because it's just how we write. It's just how it comes out. We're so used to doing things a certain way. It's just how it happens. When you cut your grass a certain way after 20 years, you're cutting it the same fucking way every time you cut the grass, no matter what, and it's not necessarily purposefully done. You know what I mean? It's just
that's true. Actually, I guess it's, I mean, and I mean, we've all been rapping since we were kids,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And now we're old ass meth. So
yeah, still rapping.
It's literally like second nature. I didn't even like. Yeah, that's how it felt to me. I think the process of it may have changed a little bit, but I feel like it's not like I don't necessarily think that I was like with this record. I don't think I necessarily took the approach of trying to bar out to the point where it was just for rappers,
right?
Right. And then that was a crazy sort of, but I don't even know if I'm even capable of doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like just because it is what it is,
Yeah.
So I don't know if that made any sense.
Yeah, man. Really dope fucking record. I really
thank you,
man.
Suggest
everybody go check it out. But let's get into this interview. So we are gonna talk about writing process. Thoughts about writing and other MCs. So with the first question I ask everybody though, who are you? And I want the Rob Sonic, the full, bio of who Rob Sonic is.
Okay, I'm Rob Sonic. I was born in Washington, D.C., and I moved to the Bronx when I was a teenager. Wow. And I had family in New York my whole life, so it just was a place that just I gravitated towards and felt most comfortable there. And I was lucky enough to sort of be born in a time where hip hop wasn't as popular as it is now. And it was more, I don't want to say, because right now it's the culture, you know what I'm saying? Like that is what it wasn't always like that. It was for certain people and certain, just musicians that were doing stuff it spoke to a generation of people that were just tired of the situation that's going on. And I just ended up gravitating towards it because it spoke to me the most. and that's sort of where I came. That's all I know. I started off probably breakdancing. I probably went through every phase. Like back in the day, you sort of had to go through all the elements, not to be cliche, but you kind of did. Like you were
I did too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everybody did. I mean, that was it. If you were in it to win it, that's what you did. And I think I was dancing first. Maybe trying to dance. This was like when breakdancing first, like dudes would be, only a couple of crews in New York would do it, and it wasn't on TV and nothing like that. And it's the same thing with rap. Like it was just, you just sort of did it or you didn't. And then there was other people that probably did I don't know, maybe hardcore or punk on an opposite spectrum.
Yeah.
So it was that time, and I was lucky enough to be born in that era. So when I came up, it was like that was everything for me. Yeah. Like even when the family would go to like the beaches and all that, we're gonna take a little vacation. I'd be like, no, I just want to break dance. I'm not going for a smoothie right now. I gotta go battle this other 8-year-old.
That's dope though.
Yeah, it was fun stuff, man. It was interesting, man. Like I consider myself extremely lucky to have witnessed sort of the birth of such a powerful movement and be a part of it, or play my little part,
Yeah. How, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 47 now.
Oh,
47.
wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
47.
I thought we were closer in age. I'm 41. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I'm 47.
Oh, okay. Words. Yeah. So, and for you to grow up,
I think I'm 47. Yeah, I think I forgot. After 45, I stopped counting.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same, man. But for you to grow up like at such a time during, the real development,
of the
culture, you know what I'm saying? Like that had to be fucking amazing, especially to see where it is now too,
Oh, it's crazy. And all it's like from the inception of it and from where it is now, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's a trip. Like if I think about it too much, it kind of fucks me up because it was such a personal thing, and cruise was heavy back when I was a kid and all that. Mm-hmm. You was a b-boy or not.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, like it was crazy. Like I kind of started rapping because if I think about it, like to be honest, it was just because we was all just battling, trying to get money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I was just a kid, and then be like, oh, you rap for a couple dollars here, there.
Yeah. Huh. That's dope.
Yeah. Battle each other and see who wins.
Yeah, that was the fun stuff coming up, was the battling. Yeah. That's the whole reason that you wanted to write raps, so you could go to, the corner, you know what I'm saying, where everybody was, and spit your bars and say that you were better than everybody, around.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was a great time, and it wasn't obviously it was frowned upon by the majority of the public, but it was something that just sort of gave us like hope.
Yeah. So, word. Okay. So, as an MC, what interests you? What drives you more, the lyrics or rhyme pattern, style? Like, what are the things that, when you hear a MC for the first time, what are you listening to first?
Well, I'm listening to the bars.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm listening to the lyrics probably first, and then that's a crazy one because I didn't really I'm not that technically, I guess, animated when I bless it. It's not like I'm not overly animated, and I think that's a cool thing in terms of what's my ear is more for lyrics because probably in the developmental phases of it, I was probably went from like, there was like probably Melly Mel.
Okay.
But it went through these weird like peaks and valleys back then. It was like it'd be like I don't know, like my man at the Fever, Spoonie G. No, Spoonie G is more like that. That's Philly, I think.
Yeah, Spoonie.
Yeah, I'm just rambling now. but there are so many, like Starsky Love Bug.
Okay.
Like that's who it was. Starsky Love Bug would come in and it would be like party stuff and strict like that. And then Melly Mel came in. And I feel like Melly Mel probably put it in a different, just what the Furious Five were doing and what those guys were doing was I mean, I get it, they probably didn't look like it, but there's some real lyrical dudes.
Right, right.
Like they brought it from like a standpoint of just get down and have a good time and party to like The Message and New York, and things like that, where it was like, yo, these dudes is absolutely, undeniably incredible at orators, you know. And I think that's probably, and then Run DMC was shortly after that, but even Run DMC, I feel like that was more like not necessarily braggadocio, but even more so than like what Melly Mel and them were doing. So
yeah,
it was great. I mean, I sort of like, I'm like a son to this. So it was great to watch, but I think that the people that influenced me the most are people that absolutely blow my mind lyrically first. I mean, I have a great respect for people that do the styles and like people that, like, if you go into that, it's like gone to so many different levels in terms of that, like Devon Stoller on the West Coast and guys that were just like, whoa, like I probably was most blown away. The first person I ever heard that really blew me away style-wise would probably be Rakim.
Okay.
And then maybe G-Rap after that, because G-Rap was flipping some, staying content worthy and doing faster styles than, say, like Kane. Those are the two that are always like compared to each other, like G-Rap and Kane, and for good reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's I mean the swag is great, but I think I probably listen to lyrics first.
Yeah, and I asked you that because I noticed because I'm a huge Sonic Sum fan. Before I even met you and knew who you were, like I was bumping Sonic Sum.
Sanity. I hear that all the time. Like people, I'm always like, really?
Yeah, Sanity Annex was.
I didn't even realize that those records went anywhere.
Oh man. Like one of my homeboys actually found it on the internet. This was early internet days, and brought it over to the studio where we were working. And he was like, yo, I just found this crazy fucking record. Like, and he put it on, and I had never heard anything like it. And I burned a copy. And dude, like, I think I played that record for like a month straight. Like, that was the only thing I was listening to in my fucking car. It was so good.
Yeah, no, that's what's up. I mean, that was definitely like, I was definitely more concerned with the style of the sound of that stuff than I mean, I was saying stuff, but it was so like, I kind of went there in terms of I'm a fan of both things, but I would say that probably the lyrical content has been essentially what drives me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't necessarily think Sonic Sum, we sort of made a conscious decision. I mean, I feel like that's all those guys, like Fred and Eric and Preservation, like those guys were 90% of the reason that was even popping, because they were just so, they had developed this sound, and we were all just sort of working for that and trying to separate ourselves from what was popping in New York at the time.
Yeah, and I feel like from how you were rhyming on the Sonic Sum record, on that record, on Sanity Annex and films too, um definitely took a change when um Delicatessen came out.
It did because I think it was, I've never really actually narrowed it down as to what it was that, I mean, it could have been like signing the Jooks, like because I signed the Def Jooks and they sort
Right.
of had a thing that they were doing, and I didn't make like a conscious decision to sort of change things, but it sort of naturally happened because I was like, how do I make it different from Sonic Song?
Right.
So
And did
it's
you
just a
produce? You
I
produced
didn't
Telet?
at that point, no.
Okay, so you weren't
And
producing it.
Delicatessen is the first record I did any beats on.
Okay.
Or no, actually no, films. Or yeah, there's one beat on films, but yeah, I didn't have no equipment or nothing on. I think Rocket is the only thing that I produced, and it was just because I wanted to get away sort of from sample based stuff,
Right.
and that nothing, not that there's anything wrong with that,
Mhm.
but I felt like it was just like I felt a little not limited, but I just felt like it was I don't know. It was one of those things where I'm trying to like put this the right way. This is a terrible interview story. I was just like, yeah, but I would say that yeah, Rocket was the first thing I did, and it was because I wanted to sort of get into more like electronic stuff. But I think we just I think see, because that was a weird thing, because it was like, you're talking about like Fred Ones and Preservation, who are like incredibly ill DJs, and Eric Mo, who comes from more of a live background, and I sort of I wanted to do like I got really into synthesizers at the time. And I don't know, it might have been a little weird to everybody. I was like, no, I need to figure out how analog synthesizers work and all that stuff.
But
So
the sound of the records, because you made that change, because the Sonic Sum stuff was more, it seemed more sample based, it was
yeah,
more soulful, in the sound
right,
of the
right, right.
warmth of it. And on the mic, you seemed like it was more, you were more in poet form and more free verse as
On
opposed
the
to
Sonic Stum, on the
rapper.
Sonic Stum stuff.
Yeah, on the Sonic
Yeah,
Sum stuff.
yeah, yeah. Well, what was crazy is I'm probably skipping over stuff, but Sonic Sum was originally me and my man Frank Seams,
Okay.
who passed away around that time, and it was tough for me to sort of be like, what do I do now? You know what I'm saying? Because he was my rap partner. Sonic Sum was me and him originally, and then we, as time progressed, TME became our producers, and that's how it sort of all gelled around that one real tragic event. So it was, I don't know if that was a conscious decision of me, but I know that I was around people at the time who were kind of like, I don't necessarily know if they were telling me to switch some stuff up, or if I felt like I needed to. It was just like, because I don't know, it was a different me at that
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I went from like somebody who was just, and there was like a lot of like, there were I don't want to say like there's a lot of there was a lot of sort of, because of the way everything went down. It was like I didn't really know if anything made sense. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
I probably tried to do that as much for self-preservation. I probably tried to switch it up a little bit just for self-preservation.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, even just listening to the rhyming of it, the styles, like it's rare that you rhyme something on the the 1 or the 4, or like
Yeah,
the rhymes.
didn't
Yeah. it's just all over the place, which is what I loved about it as a rapper. As an MC, like I loved that, I didn't know where the rhyme was gonna drop, and I would look for it, like having those things, to going to Delicatessen, Alice in Thunderdome, where you're more just like you're rapping, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I went more 4/4 in terms of music theory and stuff. I went more 4/4 instead of like whatever time signature you would possibly use.
Yeah.
And I think that was I often think now, I'm just like, I don't even, like, wow. Like I go back and I listen to the Sonic Sum stuff and I'm just like, man, that was some creative, like, just like I don't know. It was like called Fire or something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
When I did Downtown Maze, I guess that's probably the song that got us the most recognition would be because Bobito liked it. Bobito Garcia liked it a lot, and I think that had a lot to do with it because I remember thinking, oh well, if he like that, he's gonna love this, And then I played him, the newer stuff, and it was a little different. I mean, but again, I mean, New York was so like. And I don't want to say it was so close-minded because that's respect my city, but it wasn't, that kind of stuff wasn't popping there. Like I felt like that stuff was popping more maybe on the West Coast or even where you're from. Cats were really like, when I first heard Megahertz, I was bugging out. Yeah. I was like, that's crazy, man. Those dudes are obviously like, but that's almost not even doing it justice. You know what I'm saying? Because there were people like Al and Ace from where we were, and it's all sort of just like, oh, okay, But I think everybody sort of changed a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like we sort of developed this thing and did something that was very different. We were just being who we were, and I think we've all maybe come into I don't know, maybe a more focused delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, that time frame of discovering ASAP and because I went to college in the University in Cincinnati, and I was really close friends with Dose One, and Dose One.
With Dose?
Yeah, with Dose. He went to
Dose. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
And him and Ace, knew each other. So they were trading tapes, sending tapes back and forth. And Dose played me ASAP stuff for the first time. And, I don't know if it's necessarily closed-mindedness as opposed to just the hip hop community as a whole didn't know what to do with us. You know what I mean? Like they had no idea of what to do with us because we weren't necessarily making music to dance to. We weren't making music to party to. We were kind of making music that you listen to, sipping a cup of coffee and like contemplating your existence kind of shit. You know what I mean? And
I do.
They didn't know what to do with us,
Yeah. Yeah. And I would, I would be a little remiss if I didn't say that there was probably some active, like conscious pushback against maybe what was, what we thought was, a changing of maybe what we all sort of envisioned as our hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like what we thought was, it wasn't pop music yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that there was probably a bit of resistance towards that too. So we were like, we're gonna keep it real to the roots, and we don't, as much as we want to be wealthy and rich and successful, we don't want to see our little bird take, spread its wings and fly off into the ugly world of popular culture.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this: with the change going from more sample-based stuff to the electronic stuff, how did that affect the way that you approached writing, or did it at all? Or was it just you wanted the music to change and the writing was its own separate entity? Or did the music definitely affect like your approach to writing for, your later record?
Yeah, no, I think I think I was sort of I think for a long time I was sort of finding where I felt comfortable from a pen game standpoint.
Okay.
I think that's probably, as equally as much as everything that personally affected me. I think like um striving to sort of just let whatever creative energy was out, and I wasn't necessarily nailing it. And I probably never will. But I think that's always sort of what's fueled it. And I think that the only real difference was that maybe like I said, I probably paid a little more attention to structure.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think that when I was doing the Sonic Sum stuff, it was like like you said, it was very free, and it was I like I said, I don't necessarily know if all those elements weren't in play, that it would have sounded like it sounded.
Yeah.
I had very little to do with, other than the writing aspect of it and the delivery part of it. That there was, those guys deserve all the credit for that.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's just, it was a mood, it was a mood and a movement, and that's fun. That's great. And I feel like I kind of went back to that on this.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. On the new album, I hear a lot of. It sounds like you took everything that you've ever done as far as style wise and how you approached writing songs and put it all in these 10 songs. Because
I did, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man. That makes me feel awesome, because I think that's whenever you're doing projects, and I don't, obviously, but when I don't think the listener necessarily, and why would they? You know what I'm saying? They're just trying to be entertained, and
right.
feel good about what they're listening to. But anytime you approach a project and something's off, whether it be how you're feeling, or things like that, I think that comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I probably worked through 20 years of shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right,
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, it's really, and that's what and it's not like I was like, oh, like I don't know if I was going to do this anymore, but I kind of embraced the very root of why I started doing it again. Yeah, and that was just sort of, and then maybe it was just the perfect time too, because of the situation of everything.
Yeah, I feel that way too. I feel like I'm getting back, especially now that I'm producing for myself, and I have that complete freedom to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it. I want to mix it how I want. I want to, I want it to sound how I want, and being able to do that and have that much control has gotten me back to a point where I remember why I started rapping in the first place. I remember why I enjoyed hip hop so much in the first place, because now I'm starting to be able to. I don't think I was truly expressing myself to the fullest before I started producing for myself.
Well, yeah, and then I was going to say that at some point during my rant, I was definitely going to say that helped me sort of, whatever it was, whatever kind of, clogged up whatever things because of life and shit like that. I think that helped me a lot. Like understanding how music is sort of made, and I'm not, what are we, at this point, what I'm saying? We sort of all, subconsciously go off of templates and shit like that, but we can put our signature to that.
Yeah.
And I think that's really that's really what I got into this for.
Yeah.
Was to be like, I'm not here to be, massive. I'm not, there's a couple guys that are massively successful in music and a couple bands, and that's what they're supposed to do,
right.
And mine was to sort of just, I guess, and I don't want to say, it kind of sounds corny, but almost just paying homage to what it is that saved me.
Yeah.
Through everything.
Yeah. I mean, without hip hop, a lot of us ain't no telling what we'd be doing. Ain't no telling.
I have no idea. I know where I'd be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know where I'd be because I was there.
Yeah.
And it's not a good place.
Yeah, I feel that, man. Definitely feel that. All right, so got like 2 more questions. So with the Hail Mary Mallon project with you and Ace, both projects, as that group, writing those 2 albums, because I've written with Ace before, so I kind of know, some of his process.
Right.
What was that writing process like for both of you? Did you write that together, like in the same room, or
we did the first one like that? We did the first one like that. I went out to his spot in Cali, and we just sat down for 2 weeks, and we were like, okay, because we kept talking shit about it on the tour.
Yeah.
We kept talking about, we might as well just do it because we're always in the same band, and we're just, we're smelling each other's feet and all, just like, who knows each other better than us?
Right.
And I have, nothing but respect for Ace. Like, he's like a brother, what I'm saying? So, and it's, whatever. But it was one of those things where we were like, all right, let's try,
Yeah.
And we sat there for 2 weeks and got up every day and got coffee, and like inseparable.
Yeah, it sounded like it was fun. It sounded like it was a fun time, because I know, like,
the first one was really fun. I mean, it's anytime the people don't understand it. Anytime you're in the same area as another man and you're chilling, like, y'all gonna, it's not always gonna be fun.
Right. Right.
But for the overall, what it was extremely fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, doing.
Sorry.
It's all good. Doing the greenhouse projects with Blueprint, like, those are the times when we can kind of spaz out, and it's not as, serious.
Heavy.
You're not. Yeah, it's not as heavy. Like, you get to have fun with your bro. You know what I mean? Like, and you kind of get to go back to those times when when you didn't worry about selling records. You didn't worry about, if people showed up to the show. Like, you just wanted to write some dope raps over some dope beats. Like, that's what it felt like for that first one.
Yeah, man. It's like you go back to the lunch table, what I'm saying? That's it, man. It's just you and your man chilling, chopping it up, and trying to outdo each other, friendly competition type shit.
Yeah.
So that's what that process was on the first one. The second one, I was a little bit removed because I was working on the Allison Thunderdome, and I always, but in the second one came out, like, I don't know, people have their opinions. I like them both, but the second one seemed, it did, I kind of let him sort of direct that one a little more than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was sort of like us in the same room and writing together, and the second one was like, I have this idea and he would have an idea. We bring it both to the table and see if we liked it or not.
Okay. Word. Was the like the actual writing, were there times when he'd do something, you're like, oh shit, now I gotta,
oh my god, every second.
Yeah,
that guy's writing is oh my god.
Yeah, like, I mean, I can only imagine. Yeah.
No, there's a couple people who have been like, I mean, I'm just like, how am I in this room? You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes is coming up with, and then it helps me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it helps me a lot in terms of, because I was always ill, but in my own way, and Ace sort of had gotten to a point where he was, because I feel like if you listen back to both of our stuffs, it was very it was different than what was happening at the time. And,
oh yeah, very much, definitely.
And we sort of connected on that front.
Mm-hmm.
And when
as
we
did
started
we.
writing, yeah,
As
I'm
did,
sure
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's anytime you're doing, you're throwing caution to the wind, and you're not really paying attention to anything else except what you want to do, and musically, I mean,
yeah,
it's it can either it can be horrible or it can be amazing, and I think he was at the point at there. I mean, he had already. I feel like maybe around Fast Cars is when I feel like he really locked in.
Yeah,
and it was a little bit after that, and that's actually when I first met him, and yeah, I mean, it was pretty much every bar I was like, damn, son.
See, because I think that you guys, listening to the Hail Mary Mallon stuff and listening to Ace post Hail Mary Mallon, I think you guys influenced each other a whole lot during that time, writing together and working so closely.
Very well be, man. Could very well be. I think, I think that's probably only, we all influence each other when we're working with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like it's probably second nature that I'm sure that I do things writing wise, style wise now that I didn't do before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how it happens, man. When you work with dope people,
fresh, it's fresh. Like the song we did together.
Yeah,
like that I didn't know what to think. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, but that's it made me want to do. Anytime you're inspired to do something, like, because we can all, we could bar out at this point, just like, all right, let me type up, 16,
right,
get it off. But when people, really trigger whatever it is inside us that makes us want to do it, go harder.
Yeah,
I think that's a beautiful thing, and he definitely did that for me.
Yeah, it's a great fucking thing. Well, we got some new music. You do have your new album, and like most of us, you recorded way more than you actually put out. So so we are getting a special treat. Yeah, because beats and B-sides, all my guests, I have them bring something unreleased, and
oh man, this is like a D-sides, man. It's like an F-side.
So it's the joint is called Regis, right?
Yeah,
okay.
It's called Regis, and I mean, it's pretty. There's actually one of the bars survived onto the record. I mean, these are all like demos, obviously. I don't mean to do that, but these are things that I made for Latrinalia that, for whatever reason, didn't fit with the vibe of the overall project. So, that particular one I sent you is I think Time to Make the Biscuits Turn, Hibiscus in the Chloroform, Google search my name. Okay, yeah, that's at the very end of the record, I made a song called Smothered and Covered. And it's about just being sort of a unlucky in love kind of type. And ruining all his, personal relationships with significant others, and being like, hey, I know you probably don't understand why I did that, but I'll be over here at the Waffle House. And that's the first opening bar is if you connect the dots, you can see where it came from. But this is a totally different song, and it is not heavy at all. It's just, it's kind of got a pretty interesting little loop to it, and it's fun.
All right, word. Well, let's check it out. Here we go with Regis.
There we go.
You hear that?
I do.
to make the biscuits, turn our biscuits into chloroform. Google search my name, it got like 12 inch full of Gorgon porn. Audios today and get official. Can the Bible to some copper strips of cider with your honor system solitude. A dollar you can fast it to the end, so when you cast it out, you see how far they take it, even chase it. In the traffic crowds gather around the victim as they pick him up and brush him over. It's probably just a theory, but that clearly was the buzzer's for. My cousin Paul's a lawyer, he can help you if your skin is scarred, or even if your fine fit is the fiddle on his business card. A trip to Mars can happen, he's the captain of a Navy fleet, a real straight shooter, that's depending on the day of week. And maybe speaking private, I got land that's filled with silver shares, I let it go for real cheap, cause really it's just sitting there. This is rare, one chance, a lifetime opportunity, you just gotta keep it low, don't blow, this is you and me. A fool believes in nothing, but a wise man knows a winning pair, that more flies come to honey than the clumsily stuff kicking bears. He also knows how old he is and notices his thinning hairs. I would've done this myself, but who wants to be a millionaire?
Yo, I like this song, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. But you know what? You know what was funny? It was like I think yeah, I like it.
Yeah, like it's dope.
I'm trying to explain it away and shit.
See, I think it's funny because like when I did Capture the Sun with Blockhead,
right?
We did 40 songs, dude. Like we did 40. Yeah, that's why we were able to do 3 EPs along with an entire 15-song album. We did.
I'm so jealous of people that can write that much, man.
Yeah, I don't do that shit no more. That was fucking that was a long time ago. But yeah, like we did 40 songs, man.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, 40.
Like I thought I did a lot by doing like 17 for Latrinalia and cutting it down to 10. That's great. What wasn't it like? How many songs were on Capture the Sun?
15.
Like 20, right?
It was like 15 songs on the EP. I mean, on the album, and then we did 3 EPs that had like.
That's what it was. It was like you guys put out so many of it was all just part of the same thing.
Yeah, we did, because I did all of those songs for the album, and then I picked the songs for the album. But there were so many good songs that you know, like I was like, well, let's not waste the fucking music. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel that. But I feel like I don't know. Like I'm such like I'm like the worst person to myself. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that stuff, that I'm like, oh nah, man. If it's not like I'm so harsh about it. Like you know, I think that there's like 2 or 3 bars in there on that song. They killed it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and everybody, because other people said they liked it too, and I was just like, I don't know. It's like I said, you know, I didn't go, you know, and I kept going at it. Like if songs take me too long, I'll kind of just be like, nah, you know.
And like I think production wise, it doesn't fit either though. Yeah,
no, I mean that's what I'm saying. It's got to bounce. You know what I'm saying? And the record wasn't supposed to bounce like that. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was probably more. That would probably be a totally different project if I was going to sit there and make, you know, something that was maybe not, not be, you know, I don't know. It has a bounce to it that probably is more in line with like Dilla or something like that. And I'm not saying that at all because, you know, respect, but just in that vein of bouncy production and the way I delivered it and everything, like I kind of like try and, you know, if I make a project, I try and make sure that the project itself is intact. It might be a terrible project, but it's going to be an intact project. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Yeah, that's super important. I mean, to make sure that the album sounds like an album. You know what I mean?
Right. It just can't have things sticking out. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, what is that? You know, throw up the whole vibe. Everybody's vibing in the car, feeling moody, and then you throw in the. You know what I'm saying? And dudes be like, "Yeah, who's this goofy ass on the mic?"
Oh shit! Well, shit, man. I appreciate you joining me.
No, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you and the stuff you're doing with Blueprint with the Super Duty is great, man. You're a bad man, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Likewise.
I love it, man.
Love you too, bro. Man, I thank you for joining me. Bro.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Cool. Hopefully we get to see each other soon, man.
Yeah, that would be great. And work on some music together. I think we've only done one song together, so we gotta.
It's only been one, but I mean, we ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, we still here.
That's what's up.
Word. So thanks y'all for joining us. This is the 5 Spot signing off. Peace.